Well, we're heading over to the GSL, the Greater Salt Lake, or just the GSL Scale Auto Championship. It's a pretty big deal in the world of scale autos, model cars, if you will. A lot of these cars are just totally amazing built cars for model cars. A lot of them are scratch built, thousands of hours put into these cars.
Wow.
This is probably the most robust competition that there is for model cars. So that's where we're headed, is over to the GSL. Do check this out. It's amazing.
Yes.
Well, the GSL just started last Thursday with this festive opening event, sort of like the grand opening of the Olympics, the Olympic ceremony. A little smaller scale in this case, but that's appropriate because this is about small scale cars. Let's let the founder of this whole deal explain it to us, Mark Gustafson.
We are going again, the 25th show. We just held our opening session. The show started in 1979. We've held it for the first 16 years. We held it every year. Got burned out, held off for a few years, and revived it every other year, which has now been this, again, the 25th show. We people from, I think, 19 states, 3 foreign countries, and we've had so far the largest pre-registration turnout we ever have. We have major exhibits, the Fisher Craftsman people, the Links Project, other items are here, and it will be a terrific show if we can handle all the people.
And this is what the show is all about, these model cars. They're highly detailed. People bring them in from all over the place to see just who can kick a little butt and show everybody else up. Some of them are built out of kits, but a lot of them are scratch built, like this Salt Flats racer here. Winning an award here at the GSL is just about as good as it gets if you're a model car builder. This is some of the most robust competition you will find anywhere. There are categories here for just about every conceivable kind of car: your basic production car, utility vehicles, customs, hot rods, race cars, salt flat racers, you name it, they're here. One of the really fun things is just the sheer diversity of the models that are here. While customs might be your cup of tea, it's really hard to look at a truck like this or this crazy unicycle and not find that really cool. In fact, some of these whimsical models are really a crazy gas. This is the car that won last year's Best of Show. It's all scratch built out of brass. The engine is all machined on milling machine and lathe. It's really amazing. Now here's a very special display. This is the Fisher Body Craftsman Guild, model builders from a while back.
Well, let me introduce myself. I'm Tony Mazzola, and I'm here basically promoting the Fisher Body Craftsman Guild, which began in 1930. It was a Fisher, it's a scholarship that they created, and they created it at the worst time in American history, around the Depression, because they felt that they needed to have young men to go to school, and at that time, where was the money to do something like that? So in their benevolent way, they created the scholarship, which basically, and because they were craftsmen and they were coach builders, if you look over here, they will ask you to fashion a Napoleonic coach, which was the Fisher emblem. And that went on from 1930 to about 1937. And then General Motors got the brilliant idea of like, geez, these guys are spending all this time doing this, spending upwards of 2,000 hours building these model coaches, that, maybe they should, maybe we can use this talent to help us create the cars that we're selling to the American public. So in 1937, they decided to open it to concept cars. So from 1937 up until 1968, when this program ended, you would have these young men, beginning ages, I believe, 13 up until 20, competing for the scholarship, where some of the scholarships could be as much as $5,000. As you look back here to some of these other winners, this is a national winner, and he won in 1953. And I believe the amount was probably, I think it was $5,000, if I'm not mistaken. But at that time, put it this way, in today's dollars, that's $35,000 to get yourself to school. So what's interesting is that we will have 14 Gilsmen on display as a meet and greet. We will have about 28 Fisher cars on display. A lot of them are national award winners. And this is going to continue till Friday, when we have a seminar given by a few of us, how I happen to come into this. And also the gentleman who wrote the book, his name is John Jacobus. He has written the history of the Guild, and also another book which is basically the Guildsmen that wanted to participate after the Guild. In other words, what this ended up bringing them in their careers.
Some of these cars were quite influential. They're very experimental as it gets closer to the end of the program. In the 60s, one of the cars became the 1959 Impala. But they're all amazing, just absolutely amazing. I built one of these back in high school, and of course I was blown completely out of the water in this competition. But what an amazing thing to have going on in the world at that time. Lots of kids my age got involved in it, and a lot of them then went on to careers designing cars for General Motors and maybe even a few of the other companies. Well, like any good show of this type, they had an auction, and, well, I couldn't resist bagging a few things and hauling them home. I spent quite a bit of money here, but look at the cool stuff I bagged. But this thing is really about the competition cars, so let's get back to that. These cars are so darn cool. Look at the scratch-built brass going on here. These cars are not in the competition because, well, that one wasn't even finished. But these are in the competition, and you can see why it's darn hard to win anything in this show. The building here is also incredibly high-tech. One of the new things to kind of erupt is 3D printing, and there was a seminar on 3D printing. Lots of 3D printers are popping up on the market now, and a lot of people are buying them or getting their prints made at other companies like White Clouds, who was here representing their printing business. But in 3D printing, you design the part on the computer, and then you just send the file off and they print it in plastic. Or you can buy or even build your own printer, which a lot of the people here have done. This car features several different 3D printed parts. And speaking of 3D printed parts, a lot of this truck was 3D printed, and this little car is entirely printed on a 3D printer. Now, I'd like to be able to tell you which of these amazing cars won the awards, but I can't because the judging's going on right now. But I will be putting the winning cars up on the new channel. That's the GSL Scale Auto Championship channel here on YouTube. And the judges here will have decided in just a few hours who won, and I'll be posting that on the new channel. So head over there and check that out. There it is, the GSL. What an amazing collection of scale automobiles. If you like cars, you'd probably like that just because it's cars.
It's cars.
And it's model cars. And
It's model cars.
it's just amazing. I think some people put more work into building model cars than if they were building like an actual hot rod. And I think they spend more money on it
They
too.
probably, all that TV
But
stuff.
some of those guys have said that they're over 2,000 hours into those models that they've built. It's just absolutely incredible. And I've put up another channel, the GSL channel, the GSL Scale Auto Championship channel here on YouTube, just so that I can put up daily reports on this show. And then, of course, there's this show that you just saw here on Toyman Television. But if you want a little more in-depth coverage on that, then you might want to pop over to the GSL Scale Auto channel and just check the daily reports that I've been putting up on all the crazy stuff that's going on over there. A little more in depth to what you just saw. Well, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I think we figured out why.
Yeah, we figured it out.
It's a confusion that the little blue button that historically has popped in right up here no longer pops in up. It pops in down here, but it's the same little blue button, and it does the exact same thing. For some reason, YouTube moved it.
A floating button.
It's like, you know, you go to the zoo, sometimes the lions are inside, sometimes they're outside. There's no reason why. Somebody just thought it was, you know, and so they changed it. And in this case, they moved the button from up here to down here. So it should be popping in any moment now. Click on it, you will be subscribed, and it will take you to the channel. You can also go to the little blue rocket ship logo down here.
That stays put, doesn't it?
That stays put. That hasn't gone anywhere. You can click on that, takes you to the channel, and you can subscribe from there. Well, we're not sure how you found this particular movie on the internet. We hope you didn't find it boring.
No.
And we will see you here again next Sunday with another classic example of screwing around. We'll see you then. Bye.